Well, welcome back. More mixed messages from the Biden administration. The White House is now asking whether abortion clinics should be placed on federal lands in states where abortion is banned. Watch.
We understand the proposal is well-intentioned, but here's the thing. It could actually put women and providers at risk. And importantly, in states where abortion is now illegal, women and providers who are not federal employees, as you look at the federal lands, could potentially be prosecuted. There's actually dangerous ramifications to doing this.
At the same time, when Health Secretary Becerra was questioned about the proposal, he said, quote, every option is on the table. Joining us right now is Tennessee Congressman David Kustoff. He is a member of the House Ways and Means Committee. Congressman, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Hey, thank you for having me on this morning.
So what do you make of this? I guess they're questioning now whether or not abortion clinics should be on federal land. Are we going to have abortion clinics on federal land, but we're not allowed to drill on federal lands?
Yeah, well, that's a great point. And, you know, the Democrats right now are really scrambling because they're getting pushed so hard and so far from their left side. They knew that this decision was likely coming because of the leak that came out, unfortunately, from one of the law clerks, the court clerk personnel. But they're going to try to either, from an administrative standpoint, dictate that these abortions be performed on federal lands within states. They're going to, Pelosi's already said that legislatively, they're going to push as hard as they can to try to, you will legalize abortion, ratify Roe v. Wade through statute, through codification. And the fact of the matter is, I mean, listen, people are talking about it in my district, but the three things that people care the most about are inflation, crime, and the border. And I bring all that up, Maria, because if Pelosi really is searching for an answer, the fact of the matter is that in Pelosi's Washington, the Democrats, none of us walk and chew gum very well at the same time together. And between now and the November election, we are in the House of Representatives legislating 23 days. 23 days between now and the election. So every day that she takes up trying to address how to try to, in her mind, overturn what the Supreme Court has ruled in this Dobbs case, is the day we're not addressing these other issues.
Well, I mean, look, we are looking at higher costs everywhere, not just for the price of food, the price of gasoline, but now you've got the Federal Reserve aggressive, raising the cost of borrowing. And so you introduced a bill that would make individual tax rates from the 2017 tax cuts permanent. Tell us more about that, and do you expect this to move forward?
So I worked with that David Schweikert from Arizona, introduced it. I co-sponsored it. It's called the Percents Act. In the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which we enacted in 2017, which I think was the impetus for the great economic recovery that we've had prior to COVID and even during COVID, we lowered, obviously, the individual rates, the corporate rates, the small business rates. We raised the estate tax exemptions. But those all have expiration dates, and those expiration dates are coming up very soon. This bill would extend and make those provisions permanent. I think in this Congress, it's probably tough. But if what I think happens in November, which is Republicans take the House of Representatives back and the Senate, we introduce that bill early in the next session, and then we really move it. And force Biden's handle.
Yeah, but at the same time, your colleagues on the left are still pushing through more spending. You've got Chuck Schumer trying to get Joe Manchin on board right now as we speak, as Americans are hurting. In a new Gallup poll, 67% of the people said that gasoline prices are causing them moderate to severe financial hardship, Congressman. What can you do about that?
Well, so from an administrative standpoint, when we look at what Biden says when he talks about this gas tax relief, the 18 cents, which doesn't do anything in real terms to help people, he looks, when he addresses the nation on energy issues, or frankly any energy issues, he looks weak and feckless, and so there are no solutions. The easy thing to do is to reverse his policies that he put in place at the beginning of his administration, restarting the Keystone Pipeline, encouraging American producers to, in fact, want to produce, instead of buying, going to the Saudis and begging them and the Venezuelans to produce more oil, he ought to go to the Texans and the Alaskans and the North Dakotas and all the domestic producers and say, I was wrong. Let's do what we did during the Trump years when we were energy independent. We want you to produce domestic.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's one of the issues here. Real quick, Congressman, before you go, we're waiting on the GDP number out this morning. We are expecting a contraction. Do you believe we are in recession right now? And also, do you believe inflation gets worse? Because one of your colleagues, the ranking member on the Budget Committee, Jason Smith, told me that hundreds of billions of dollars in COVID relief money hasn't even been appropriated in several states, and that's why he's expecting inflation to stay elevated. Your thoughts on inflation and the GDP?
So to your point, the more money that the federal government prints and flushes into the economy, it has a detrimental effect on inflation. It feels like we're in a recession. It feels like we're slowing down. And, to your point, the attitude of people, certainly in my district and across the country, they don't feel good about the economy. They don't feel good about the economy for what you said, for what they're paying for gas and for groceries. And they open up their 401k statement, and it's really depressing. People tell me they look at retiring. They're going to continue working because they've lost their savings. They've lost their investments. Yeah,
Congressman, it's good to have you this morning. Thanks very much for weighing in on all of that. We'll be watching the developments. David Kustoff joining us this morning in Tennessee.